Hi, this is Nirmal Rewaria, Chief Business Officer of LendenClub. We keep on calling our premium partners at our office, and we keep on doing podcasts with them. Today we have Mr. Dinesh Ajwani, co-founder and CEO of Bluegrid Financial Services Private Limited. दिनेश जी बहुत बहुत आपका स्वागत है इस शो में एंड थैंक्स आपने टाइम निकाल के यहाँ पे आए उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका.
In fact, thank you very much for calling me, Nirmal ji. This is a great honor, and it's going to be a very interesting session for me too.
Definitely we keep on doing, and I was waiting in fact for you for long, and thanks आपने उसके लिए हामी भरी यहाँ पे आए उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Great.
So before moving ahead, we would like to understand how did the birth of Bluegrid Financial Services and how you started this journey and all that.
Sure. So I'll start with my journey in my career in this industry.
Okay.
So prior to post graduation, I worked earlier in a CA firm for 3 years and also selling computers.
Okay.
That created a solid base in terms of understanding what I want to do in future. So moment I cleared off my MBA post graduation, I started with my wealth management industry.
Okay.
It's promotional of financial products.
Okay.
And with that great base, I got into Aditya Birla Wealth Management.
Okay.
And then I had a great journey with Kotak Securities, with Motilal Oswal for 5 years. Then with Capital First, which is now IDFC First Bank.
Okay.
So there I was a founding member to create wealth management firm. And then in Pyramidal Finance for 6 years.
Okay.
With this great diversified experience, and this diversified experience and gave me confidence to start off my entrepreneurial journey. And that was definitely one. Second, there is a dearth of skillful distributors.
Very true.
So even today, there is a lot of focus on product selling, and investors' requirement gets ignored.
Okay.
So that's what we have tried to build in, and we thought there's a big gap in this area. As myself and Bluegrid, we can fill this gap very confidently and do a big contribution to help clients what they want, and at the same time help them achieve their goals.
Very nice.
So that's where Bluegrid came up with, and I also have a mission to really create a lot of financial awareness, and that's something which is rising. But I felt that's something which we can reach out to masses and thousands of people wherever we can do is something. So we're doing a lot of activities in that area as well.
Very nice, very nice. Actually, I have been serving this industry for last 25 years, and I have not seen such advisors who have worked with various wealth outfits across the country. And after gaining the experience, now you decided to start Bluegrid and all that. Such entrepreneurs, definitely they will help families to achieve their dreams and all that.
Right.
That is big thing itself.
Absolutely. And building a strong team of financial planners. So we are a team of 7 people, out of which 80% are certified financial planners.
My God.
So my journey is to create a very professional team. So that is something, all these missions can be achieved only if I have a good.
So these guys are CFPs in your team itself.
Yes, absolutely.
My God, because end of the day, CFPs actually they are like homeopathy doctors. They understand first the entire background of the investor or family, and after understanding, then the diagnosis, and after that they suggest products.
Absolutely.
So that is big thing itself.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we do. Absolutely.
Good. So end of the day, I just tell viewers, very few advisors, they understand the real need of the investors, their risk profile and all that, and then after understanding their background, they suggest various products, and Dinesh is one among them itself.
Yeah. And money is a very, very important source of peace and stress.
Very true.
Right? And if it's managed very well, that can lead to peace.
Very true.
Right?
Very true.
Now to help clients to achieve those, that's something which we do a lot to understand their requirements and help them achieve their goals. Because peace is something which we all humans so struggle to achieve them.
Definitely.
So if finance is managed well and we are able to guide you and we are torchbearer,
good. Very nice. Very nice.
Good contribution from us.
I hope lots of families, they must have achieved their dreams with your advice and all that. Any one incident you have?
Yes, we have certain. So of course, my journey has been 4.5 years in Bluegrid.
Okay.
Though earlier, of course, I had several HNIs, and so I had a mix of HNI clients as well as mass affluent.
Okay.
So HNIs are generally a fire situation, financially dependent, retired early. But a lot of mass affluent who've been into trying to build. Yes, they have achieved certain amount of goals, but I am not able to track because it's been 10-15 years in relationship. But for 4.5 years, we got in touch with few of them. yes, there have been people with a short-term goal of 3 to 4 years, and we've been able to achieve that.
Okay.
In fact, very interestingly, today I was in
Yeah.
touch with one of the client who is almost nearing his retirement, and we are planning his bucketing in terms of how his entire corpus can be utilized, his entire lifespan till his expectations, very safely, at the same time enhancing his monthly
Any
income.
one incident where the investor or the family head of the family became emotional, or the family became emotional because of advice, they achieved their dreams? Any one incident you remember?
Yes, definitely. There have been quite a few, in fact, because ultimately, when they feel lost out and they have no kind of guidance, and when we go with a very candid, transparent, and they start trusting us, that's something which they get. Yes, finally, we have certain amount of advisor or a distributor. Yes, that has been the case. So what additionally we do, we handhold their children as well, because they are the ones who are going to take over one day. So we try to create financial awareness among them, and this is something which we initiate. We tell them, please either tell them to come to our office if they are right in Mumbai, or engage with us on the phone and be part of our whatever we write, and this thing, and they are free to call us and ask anything. So we try to build their base. So if they are earning money, they should be able to manage their money as well. At least understand what there has to be. They have to ask right question to the advisors. Whether what should I do? Okay, I'm doing mid cap, I'm doing small caps, I'm doing P2P. Whether should I do or not? But they need to ask. If they're completely blank, they have no questions, and they have to go exactly as per what an advisor is saying. So I think it's very important to be aware. So that's something which we do.
So this is one of the unique thing Dinesh is doing, that they also involve family members, especially children, in the financial matters and all that. Because end of the day, if family is aware what sort of dreams the head of the family is having, that will help the overall in achieving the dream itself. That is big thing itself. So there is any milestones you could tell about Bluegrid and all that, and there must be उतार चढ़ाव भी काफी आए होंगे इस जर्नी में, तो कुछ आप एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहते हैं?
Definitely. So interestingly, I started in September 2019.
Okay.
So that was 6 months prior to COVID. And there was a 6 months of groundwork. So we felt when the COVID happens and that's announced, that is going to be a very tough journey for us.
Okay.
So, but because of that, I think two big good reasons.
Okay.
We were very busy, and that year was very good for us as a Bluegrid is concerned. I think that is where we right advice comes in and a good strategy comes in to picture. So one is technology.
Okay.
We started off, and we were very clear that we're going to create online presence itself.
Okay.
There won't be any kind of paperwork.
Right.
Two reasons. One is give best of the services, of course, to the investors.
Definitely.
Second, operationally scalability. So both the things, we decided there's no paperwork. So that helped us when we were online sitting home and everybody is able to transact. Second was research capability.
Okay.
So at that point of time, of course, everybody has got equities and they're excited about it, but that was a very interesting time for debt funds.
Okay.
Why? Yeah. Interest rates were was about to fall.
Right.
They were falling, but as soon as the COVID came in, there was a 75 bips fall. That simply means, and there was a great journey.
Right.
Debt funds were able to provide superb returns, nearly double-digit returns, by taking hardly any risk.
Yeah.
And that's something which most of the investors are not aware how it works.
Right.
And I have never got into it because many advisors or distributors have never given exposure.
Right.
This is generally a HNI kind of exposure in these areas. But I ensured to give it to many people. And we did a good research behind it, after which we gave it to them, and that was the best. So we were very busy actually collecting debt investments in that particular period, and we got many clients in that area. So that kind of a milestone, it was उतार चढ़ाव कह रहे हैं, it was definitely पहले तो बहुत ही उतार था, फिर immediately 2 महीने के अंदर बहुत चढ़ाव था. And that journey, I think it helps us to build that trust as well, give that confidence in our platform, and then later equity, the tide turned, we were able to immediately shift to equities for many of the clients and also do proper asset allocation.
Good. So end of the day, I just summarize, the digitization must have helped you, because end of the day, COVID, there was no physical meetings available and all that. And secondly, you took some sort of decisions which were in the favor of investors, like looking at that, where the entire world was moving towards equity.
True.
You were looking at that because you knew that that is good for such an investor model.
Absolutely, and that's where asset allocation comes in. Otherwise, you go overboard on equities and start taking very high risk.
Right.
So that's where we try to create a balance.
Good. Now, like before choosing any product, like what sort of strategy you adopt and what sort of openness you have to include new products and all that.
Firstly, I'll tell you what we do.
Yeah.
So I was again going back to experience. I was lucky to work with such best of the companies.
Right.
They give superb exposure to me on several good products. So we do mutual funds, we do structured bonds, we do bonds, we do peer-to-peer lending, we do high yield bonds, PMS, AIF, insurances. We are able to do such kind of products, and many new products keep coming in. Very interesting. Plus international products. Now, as I said, we've already created a research capability.
Okay.
So we work with Morningstar as of now, which is one of the leading mutual fund research.
Right.
So for mutual funds we do that. For insurance also to a certain extent we do that, and we have our own way of doing a credit assessment. So again, going back to pyramid and
the past
experience.
Yeah.
So that helped me to really get into a bond research, a credit research as well, to really assess whether this particular, and that's how even peer-to-peer came into picture.
Yes.
So those kind of research, we have a research team in place, we have a process in place. To highlight, we have our own proprietary 6P research model. 6P is people, performance, persistency. Then we also talk about our platforms. Then we probability. So when we talk about all these 6Ps, we are able to assess every aspect of this piece and then finally come out with that this product has to be sold. Most importantly in this is people.
Yes.
So for example, a fund manager, right?
Yeah.
AMC, any particular AMC, I don't want to name any, but any large AMC, or they're great, right? But they're custodians of our money.
Right.
Who's going to make money for us is the fund manager they hire. So those AMCs should be, large enough or good enough, or should be capable to hire good fund managers, which I think most of them have it. And we work with those kind of AMCs. At the same time, we assess fund managers more in detail. So if that is the person who's going to make money for us in future.
That is very big thing, that you also look into the fund manager's background and all that, how many years of experience he has having, what is his strategy and all that.
His strategy, his investment processes in place, how has been, suppose if he's worked in earlier AMCs, how was his performance then? Those areas. Of course, we meet them in person. Every fund manager, most of the fund managers in person, how much ever we could, and then we make our decisions in terms of comfort.
So this is a message for all the investors, that generally whenever we approach any advisor, we feel that he has just suggested product. But before suggesting any product, what sort of hard work like Dinesh has been doing for the investor, that is big thing itself, like research team, then he has openness to have bouquet of products and looking at your requirement, then they suggest various products and all that, diversification, meeting fund managers. It's a very big task that they have been doing at back end itself. So it's not easy task to handle your money to reach to your goals and all that. That is very big thing.
Absolutely. So just wanted to add here, it's very easy to, if imagine equities get 12 to 15% without taking any risk. Nobody needs help, right? Why do you need help? Is because every product comes with its risk.
Yes.
So high risk, high return strategy. So definitely, when you take risk, people are not aware of it. So that's where our role comes into picture, to assess the risk of a product so much in depth, so that it's suitable to our clients. So our major role is actually as a risk manager than a distributor or financial advisor.
And end of the day, you have to also manage their emotions in certain times, whether market is going up or down itself.
Absolutely.
You have to manage their emotions. That is the biggest role you have.
So that's where behavioral finance comes into, and we also verify what are the kind of mistakes which most of the people do, and then we help them how to avoid them, or try to basically, I talk about very simple greed, fear itself, how to control those emotions. That itself will make a lot of wealth, because that's where you make mistakes and you erode wealth. So emotion management is very important.
So now it's almost 4.5 years of Bluegrid and all that. So, and this message will go to various investors across the globe itself. why one investor should come to you? Like any USP you have where the people should feel that proud that I am working with, or Bluegrid is managing my wealth and all that.
True. I think one is, of course, if I have to highlight 4 or 5 of them. So experience definitely matters, right?
Right.
So our tagline itself on the logo itself is called trust experience.
Okay.
So experience, no doubt. So when I go to a doctor, I look for an experienced
Yes,
doctor.
yes.
When you go to a fund manager, we look for an experienced doctor.
Right.
So naturally, it's an experience really matters.
Yes, yes.
So that we come with a 25 years experience.
Right.
At the same time, team. So we have a professional team which I highlighted. We have a certified financial planners, right? Plus, we are just not focusing on one asset class or one product called mutual funds. We have a wide variety because of the experience which I have and exposure I got. We've got almost 14 to 15 kind of products, and we are not, very off or. We look at very innovative products. We look forward to, and that's where P2P also came into picture. Yes. And we have a decent exposure with you and other players. Okay. So products itself also is very important, very there. We also provide services like goal planning. Being a certified financial planner, we are able to provide various services. We do portfolio reviews and goal planning. And we believe goal planning is one of the most important step, the first step, even before you build your portfolio. If you build your portfolio according to your goals, you're able to, you're having a destination for the money. So we are able to even do that. And we do a lot of other services like estate planning, portfolio reviews.
So I think that goal planning is quite important because at the end of the day, it gives you long term, like whenever the market will correct and all that, in case you attach someone's emotions with goal, then they won't come to you because they know that my goal is after 10 years, 15 years and all that. Right. That is big thing itself.
And the research capability which I always spoke about. Because I still believe this is what many distributors lack, and that they should actually do an extensive research before they bringing out a product in the front. So that is a very strong back end work which has to be done. You need a team for that or a technology for that.
Good. Now, when did you start P2P and what sort of homework you did before including P2P in your portfolio and all that? Any thoughts on that?
Definitely. So I started off P2P right in between COVID. I started. Okay. So when I say I started, it was my money which went in. So that was the start of my research. Okay. Right. So before even if I give exposure to my investors, which I don't know much about, so I need to know a lot. I started with one of the players, and of course within those players expect within few months they will understand. I'll understand and start off. But I took almost 1 year. To really go through the entire, because it was a COVID journey, and that was a key. I think the right time to really understand that, because if there is a mishap, that is the time where the mishap could have happened.
NPS could have gone.
Absolutely. So that's where the confidence comes in. Again, this platform is definitely good and needs to be looked into in details. That's where my next step of due diligence started off. So that where I went, started off, the first thing I did is met the management. So I need to understand, because this is a new industry, and need to know more about it. Who are the players? Because all are now startups, these kind of startups. So need to understand who's the management. I met them. Now what is the most important aspect of this? One is technology, another is credit assessment, and that's the most important pillar of peer-to-peer. So we met the credit team a couple of times to really understand all kind of cases, what they take, what not to take, and then of course it is backed by the financial statements, etc. Also we are able to see. So we did that. We understood. Third, most important, is the platform. Now this company has to be strong enough, right? Now we've also seen, we worked with few companies which we backed because we felt the company is relatively weaker. They can
technology and all that.
Technology as well as growth, scale. So if they're not able to scale, they'll not be, their existence is a question mark. So we were trying to understand how scalable, how the company is growing, and at the same time, are they compliant with RBI guidelines? So we need to really get into the RBI many areas, and they are able to follow the process rightly. And most importantly, the company should be financially very strong,
profitable.
Exactly. So if the company itself is weak, what happens if I have invested my own money or my client's money? They are completely अनाथ हो जाते हैं, right? And then RBI of course will have to step in, but there is too much of stress for the investors at those kind of journey, which we saw during Franklin days, right?
Yes.
So we know that
the brand was strong and right. So I just summarize, like before including any product in the portfolio, how much research or hard work Dinesh has done itself. And I also remember our meeting itself. Like I approached Dinesh almost for 6 to 7 months, and in those 6 to 7 months काफी इन्होंने हमारा रैगिंग लिया था, and he asked n number of questions, and one fine day he downloaded our balance sheet and all that. He then compared with various competition and all that, and then he got comfort. So for investors, that is a message that your money is in right hands, and you are with good advisor itself who understand before including any product. And because end of the day, it's his responsibility. End of the day, you put money on his face, on his confidence in itself. But before including any product, how much hard work he has done, that is, and I have seen that. Like what, after 8-9 months, you included us in your portfolio.
Yes,
that is big thing
absolutely.
itself, because
Right.
you feel that it's your responsibility to safeguard your investors' money and all
Absolutely, that is the most important goal for us.
that. Good.
When we advise.
So, what sort of message you would like to give to your community friends, those who generally have fear that to include P2P in their portfolio and all that? So, any message to MFDs?
Sure. So I think one should not close their eyes to any product, and investors don't come and tell us that I don't want to take risk.
Okay.
They are ready to take risk,
Very
but they should be well informed. So if you've made them aware
Mhm.
that this is the product and this is the level of risk.
Risk.
So if you've already created that kind of awareness and still it's a calculated risk.
Yes.
And still investor feels confident, yes, they will invest with you, and that's a good asset allocation, and clients will definitely appreciate that you've given this product
Very true.
because you are transparent and you're thereby you do equities, right?
Very
Within equities we do small cap, we do
Yes.
sector funds.
Yes.
So
yes.
it carries
That is
its
the
own-
most, yes, it's most risky.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it carries its own risk.
Yeah.
Just because the track record has been great, it's giving you phenomenal returns, you're not investing.
Very true.
You are investing and telling them there is it's risk, but
Yes.
this is what it will give you on the money in the long run.
Very true. Very
So this same thing, I think peer-to-peer has also come out very well the way it has come in. Players like you you're building this industry.
Very
This industry is poised to grow in a big way, I believe. It's going to be a very interesting journey. What we've already seen in mutual funds.
Yes.
SEBI, I think regulator initially also was learning
Very
from that
true.
last
Very
12-15 years.
Yes.
But if you see last 15 years, the regulators have been very strong in terms of
Stringent,
tightening,
yes,
and
yes.
and
Very
we've also seen at the same time
Yeah.
how mutual funds have grown rampantly.
Very true.
So I think RBI has an advantage.
Yes.
P2P has an advantage. Why? Because RBI has already seen microfinance cycle for 20
Very
years, and at the same time our banking and NBFCs are matured enough.
Very true.
Now peer-to-peer stands at a very advantageous position
Very
where RBI knows most of the drill.
Yes. Because
Right?
they have seen lots of mishaps and all that. All those
Absolutely.
experiences they have put
Experience. They already
banning regulations
plugged.
of P2P and all.
Right. And there is huge industry because there are small players, small borrowers who are underserviced.
Very true.
Now, they cannot fulfill their requirements through mainstream banking and NBFCs.
Very true.
That's where P2P comes into picture. And I think India demographics, there's a great advantage.
Very true.
So even if I compare internationally, what we've already seen in UK, or US and different markets like China, I think India will be in much better position as far as P2P.
Because RBI is there. RBI is
one of the best regulators in the world.
And across the globe, no financial product is guaranteed itself. So it's advisors' responsibility to understand the risk appetite of the investor, and then they should match the risk, the product which carries the risk itself, and then he should offer the product itself. So end of the day, I feel advisors should be open for various products. At least they should understand what is the product and what sort of risk it carries, so that in case some risk can be matched with the investor's requirement, they should offer those products.
I think that is another gap where a lot of advisors don't feel confident that they will be able to do research properly or not, and they'll make wrong mistakes. I think they should put a lot of efforts to understand this product, and I think they will, if they do that properly. And there is a great team, people like you help them to understand that more in details. And it's just that we've not seen LendenClub or you coming and selling us very aggressively, but you're telling us both sides of the coin. So being transparent and understanding, so you helped us really understand. And it's a day.
Thank you very much.
It's a regular journey. It's a continuous journey. Learning. We're still learning about P2P, no doubt about it.
We are handholding each other and moving in this industry itself. So any thing you would like to ask on P2P, because you must be discussing about this product to your investors and they must be having apprehension. So anything you would like to ask, I am open to answer your queries.
So there has been, whenever I speak to a lot of investors, there has been an apprehension about, because it's a new animal, but there is so much of safety guard which has been created by the regulator.
Yeah.
So I would like you to highlight the ways the industry is structured and how your company is formed with trust as well as those safety. So it will be a great to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. So generally, whenever people hear about P2P lending, they feel that it's a complicated product and all that. But here, P2P lending, like peer-to-peer lending or person-to-person lending, it's old concept itself, which was happening physically since the birth of our society itself. But it started happening in 2013 online. And if you do something interest business in India, you have to take license. So if someone has started this business, it was illegal under section 45S of RBI itself. But it was online, so it came into RBI's view and all that. So they started digging out how do you do that and all that. So logically, RBI had to shut down that business itself. But RBI thought, let me go outside and see what is happening globally. And when RBI did research in various countries and all that, to RBI's surprise, this industry grown 2,200 times within 3 years.
That's huge.
And then it was exciting for RBI and all that. And after researching for 2-3 years, RBI came up with a consultation paper. I am talking about pre-regulation era itself. So RBI came up with a consultation paper. In that, RBI has mentioned, why do I want to launch P2P lending industry in India after 70 years of independence itself? What was the need of P2P lending? Right. And in that, RBI told that my small entrepreneurs, which I have millions across the country, my small entrepreneurs, they don't get credit whenever they go to bank or NBFC and all that, because they need a small loan and all that, and small loan is not profitable for banks and all that. For those small entrepreneurs, RBI has come up with P2P lending itself. Right. But now, while defining regulations, RBI saw two sort of risks in that. One, that the platform might run away with money and all that. And second, what if borrowers won't pay money? So that platform might run away money. For that, RBI studied mutual fund industry structure itself. By that time, mutual fund industry was around 35-40 years and all that. Right. And RBI found that there was no accident in mutual fund industry. No fund manager or MCS run away with investors' money and all that. And RBI, that was quite exciting for RBI. Then RBI just read the structure and all that, and RBI found that mutual fund ownership lies with a trust.
Absolutely.
The same concept, the same thing, RBI just copy pasted in regulation document on page number 15 itself. I would request all the viewers to download that document from RBI website. On page number 15, the framework is given by RBI to all P2P lending platforms like us, and there RBI has mentioned that no platform should touch investors as well as borrowers' money. You can't touch. If someone can't touch, how can he run away with people's money and all that? Absolutely. So that was the biggest risk RBI found while defining the regulation itself, because RBI has seen lots of accidents. Absolutely. People run away with investors' money and all that.
This has happened in many NBFCs.
Very true. Yeah. So that risk RBI mitigated in the regulation document itself. Right. Now we can't touch investors' money and borrowers' money itself. So we can't run away and all that.
True.
Second, on borrowing side, like in case borrowers come, then what if they won't pay money and all that? On that front, we have different structure and all that, where we ensure that investors' money or lenders' money should go to thousands of borrowers. And when borrowers come, we should check their 600 parameters. So there are various 600 parameters. So there are various parameters we have defined which ensure that lenders' money should be safe, and we should be able to generate returns.
So, for example, somebody who's investing, let's say 1 lakh rupees.
Very true.
What is the kind of spread diversification you mentioned? How many borrowers it will be attached to, and per borrower average, what will be the lending?
Yeah. So, before coming to your question, whenever some investors come on a platform, we check 600 parameters. Then the borrower become eligible borrower.
That's important.
Now coming to your question, in case someone comes with 1 lakh rupee on a platform, that money goes to 8 to 10,000 borrowers.
Oh, that's
I just
huge.
repeat
Yes.
that money goes to 8 to 10,000 borrowers. What does it mean? On an average, your money will go to 10 rupees itself.
Right.
So be spread in such a way that the way in mutual fund industry, the fund manager diversify your investment in various sectors, companies and all that. In the same way, we diversify among thousands of borrowers so that your principal should be safe and we should be able to generate.
So that's where the concentration risk comes in, which you are able to
Yes.
address to,
Right.
and this diversification reduces the risk dramatically.
And that requires lots of investment in technology now.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the USP of LendenClub.
That was one of the major reasons where I partnered with you, because the kind of state of art technology you have to reach out to masses, understanding the Indian demographics and dynamics, and at the same time the 600 parameters sitting here through technology, assessing everyone's profile.
And that takes hardly 3 to 4 minutes. Because of technology
and I believe the traditional banking system and NBFCs, they also look up to people like you to really use those kind of platforms where they've been running that traditionally, while you've really innovated. You guys have really innovated very well.
Sir, any last message for us, LendenClub, where you could something for LendenClub, what you have felt about us in last 1.5 year, 2 years of our journey?
Yes, I would like to highlight one is found your platform to be very strong. Most importantly, there is a lot of trust building in your team, the management as well. He has spent a lot of time with us. The promoters have spent a good time with us to give that kind of confidence as well. I was very happy that you could also open up to credit team for me.
Yes.
So that was excellent. And you specifically and your team has been pretty helpful in giving a lot of information and also educating us on the P2P. That's very important for us.
Yes, definitely.
Because we are still understanding the new animal more and more. So that's something which I found, and as I already highlighted, the technology which you have, the credit assessment process which you follow, that's very interesting. And most importantly, I think your marketing team is doing a great job.
Good. Sir, thank you very much for coming and joining us. It's our privilege that you have come to our office and हमारे ऑफिस को आपने पवित्र किया है. Thank you very
so much. I enjoyed this conversation with you and look forward to many more such conversations.
Thank you very much.